macaroon. Since the title role specifically calls for a princess, and since we know that princesses to be had, I'm afraid we'll have to cancel the show. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Wait, Tabby, no. I'm a princess. I can go on.
And you are?
Princess Tabasco. Tabby to my friends. Daughter of King Queen Tamale, rulers of the great kingdom. Yes, head mark. Go, you hens.
She's really into the Kingdom's Jousting Squad. It's this whole thing.
I see it. You are?
This is Saffron, my confidant and lady in waiting.
Believe me, I think this is as fascinating as you do. I'm usually the voice of reason around here, but apparently, Reason took one look at this situation, got scared, and ran away.
Now, Denmark, that's the smallest, flattest, foreignest one, correct?
That's it. Our capital city is Copenhagen. Our population is unknown because nobody can count that high. Our national flower is the cauliflower. Our national bird is the long flamingo. And our chief export is rice.
You export Ross? Is there really a great name for your King's Ross? I mean, do they think you really want them that badly?
Not really. People mainly just throw them off the cliff on the Kingdom's western border.
Thread rocks off the cliff is our national pastime. We have a tournament every year. It's called the Head Mark Cup.
I see, but if you're so confused of this, I thought Denmark was supposed to be flat.
Flat-ish. Ish part allows from the cliff.
This is why Denmark is so isolated. Every time we have to explain ourselves, it's just too embarrassing.
Well, it's not very interesting, but we have a series of dramatic performance too. At least you know the please, ma'am. Alright, your story test out. Just go backstage and someone will tell you what to do.
Tabby, you can't be serious about this.
Oh, come on.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to take you back in time to a time that some of you think never could have been. But I hope by the end of the night that you will agree with me that is certainly a time that should have been. These are the times where unlikely heroes stumble into adventure, overcome unlikely odds, and live happily ever after.
Well, Saffron, it's been a long, hard journey, but here we are at Castle,
Spamalot.
Spamalot. The Castle Spamalot is where the strong, courageous, brave Prince,
Gallant.
yes, Gallant. The strong, courageous, brave Prince Gallant. Oh, Saffron, doesn't he sound like a dream?
He sounds just like any other prince to me.
I said, he sounds unlike any other prince.
No, courageous, strong, handsome, just like any other prince I've heard of.
I said, he sounds unlike any other prince in the land.
No, really, every other prince I've heard was described pretty much the same way. Courageous, strong, handsome. Oh, I guess sometimes they'll say bold, daring, or mighty, or something like that instead. But really, it all comes down to the same thing, doesn't it?
I said, he sounds unlike any other prince in the land.
Yeah, Tabby, whatever you say.
But enough talk. Come, king and queen await. King, queen, waiting.
Hold on a second. Just don't let him to get, okay?
Your Majesties, it is both an honor and a pleasure to finally meet you.
Ah, you must be Princess Sophia.
I am Princess Tabasco.
You must be Princess Sophia.
I am Princess Tabasco.
Well, why doesn't anyone ever tell me that you're on here? Don't mind me, fire someone. Ah, you must be Princess Tabasco.
I am.
Oh, what is that new idea?
May I introduce Saffron? saffron, my lady in waiting.
Whose mission are you asking, my dear? Mine, the king's, the saffrons?
Why don't we just skip introductions?
Splendid. How sporting, my dear.
Tell me, what sort of distress are you in?
Excuse me?
Distress? Clearly you are in the traditional mode of distress. You haven't been abducted by a troll, a dragon, or an evil sorceress, so it must be a curse of some kind. Am I right?
Cursed? I'm not cursed.
Oh dear.
You mean to tell me that you're in no way, shape, or form in any kind of distress?
I'm afraid not. Is that going to be a problem?
What, of course it is! The prince needs a damsel in distress, someone who can rescue from peril, the series of heroic deeds and adventures. What good are you if you find it in any sort of distress?
Well, she never said I had to be in any sort of distress.
Don't do that.
What?
Talk about me really here. I'm the narrator. I'm supposed to be invisible and I'm no way.
Oh, sorry.
I told you this was a bad idea.
Get us dead. But is it really that important that I be a damsel in distress?
Well, of course it is. Like the ever tale, how I became king of Spellnod. Spoon and a stew. You've heard of it, of course.
Excuse me, the spoon and the
Stew?
stew?
Stew, yes.
Have you heard that one?
I'm trying not to get involved.
No, I'm sorry. We haven't heard that one. Please tell us the tale.
Or not. I mean, if we've offended you horribly with our ignorance, we could just, leave and never come back.
Oh no, it would be my pleasure to tell you the story. I feel that the younger generation can always stand to benefit from the wisdom and experience of their elders. Would you agree, dear?
Yes, dear.
When my father, King Oscar, passed away, I assumed that I, as his eldest son, would become the next king in his place. But, his brother, that is my uncle, and his uncle. That is my father's father, his sister's son, and my second cousin twice removed, and my third cousin twice removed, neither of whom I was actually sure how they were related to me, or claimed that they were the rightful successors to the throne.
It sounds like you in quite a predicament.
Quite predicament.
An unpredictable predicament, one would say.
No, it was actually quite a predictable predicament. Everyone was very last, the competition of no one being sure who's supposed to do what.
Please. Have you ever tried to make the situation better?
Oh, certainly, we tried aromatherapy. Oh, God! I came home sure that nothing seemed to work.
Have you tried herbal tea and whole grains?
No, I haven't tried that one yet.
As excruciating as it is for me to say this, I think I'd rather listen to the rest of your story than any more of this conversation.
Quite right, my story, the kingdom, was an uproar. And then the time it was written that he who could pull the spoon from the stew would become the rightful heir of Spellnod, and the throne would be his. It was written.
Where was it written? Who would ever write something like that? Why would anyone ever write something like that?
Well, it was found on the side of the castle one day. Enormous purple letters spelling out the kingdom's destiny. It was never discovered who wrote the words, but you are what you have.
Sure, I can see how that would make sense if you're completely irrational.
It's so romantic. Your destiny written larger than life in purple paint. But the spoon and the stew, what was so special? How did the spoon come to be stuck there?
I'm glad you asked that. I didn't really have a segue. You see, my father died at dinner. The spoon was in the bowl. Hard to be stewed. And since the very inside the table can only be cleared at the king's command, and since there was no king's command that the table would be cleared, the spoon was left to go hard and cute with the stew stuck. The spoon stuck more and more firmly in place.
And it was you that pulled the spoon from the stew?
It was, and it wasn't easy.
What made it so difficult?
Oh, for some unexplained reasons, my hands were covered in purple paint.
Your story is amazing. You could pull the spoon when no one else could.
I could, and it wasn't easy.
What made it so?
Well, yeah, since I was the first person who actually tried to draw spoons with stew.
So you don't actually know for sure that you were the only one that could do it? You just happen to be the one who remembers? That doesn't prove anything.
I'm quite sure it's destiny. The royal house of Spelunat has a long tradition of destiny.
And disorganization.
Quite right. The 2 of 3 virtues listed on the royal seal of Spelunat. Destiny, disorganization, and dental floss.
Dental floss?
Saffron, it's important to respect other people's cultures.
Well, considering I come from a long, proud tradition of throwing rocks off a cliff, I'm not really positioned on this.
It's important to be culturally sensitive.
Quite right, you're quite smart, girl. Even if your others, your lack of distress makes you useless. Hey! But one doesn't become king is not what matters, but one is after one becomes king. I was not so fortunate that my queen was given to me. I had to win her. You've heard the story.
Oh, this is going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh, please tell us the story. Is it full of heroic deeds and adventures?
Indeed it was. I was a young king, the queen of a queen. She's a princess, terrible clutches of a terrifying dragon.
He was very brave.
Goodness, was it really that terrifying?
Terribly terrifying.
I set up to rescue her, armed with only a spoon.
A spoon?
Well, it seemed appropriate.
Appropriate? Do you even know what that word means? Forget it. Don't answer that.
I'm fairly sure appropriate was the appropriate word used there.
Oh, please do go on with the story. The suspense is killing me.
Killing you, is that stress?
Perhaps we should call for a doctor.
And I'm dying of boredom.
Perhaps we should call for 2 doctors.
No, it's just their expressions.
Expressions, this does sound serious.
Perhaps we need 3 doctors.
Just go on with the story.
I journeyed to the dragon's lair and found her there. The woman destined to be my queen. The woman I loved all my life, even though I had never met her before until 3 hours earlier. She was bound and clearly terrified. In the middle of the chamber floor, a beast. Scarlet the bold, Scarlet the mighty, Scarlet the terrifying. I strode up to the beast, my spoon unlocked, and in a appropriately menacing manner.
He was very brave.
The dragon slumbered, but I was not denied the glory and honor of triumphing over this beast in battle. I shook him, shouted in his ear, and tugged at his tail.
Did he wake up?
Not exactly.
Does that mean no?
In a manner of speaking,
Skylash slept a lot. He'd sleep all day, wake up, make us breakfast, and say, well, I suppose I should terrorize you now, but I'm not quite feeling up to it. Maybe a nap first. And then he'd sleep until lunchtime, wake up, make us lunch, and say, well, I would terrorize you now, but I'm not really in the mood. I'm going to lie down for a bit, and after that it's going to be nothing but terror, terror, terror. And then he'd sleep until dinner. When he'd sleep until dinner, wake up, make us dinner, and then say, hey, it's just too late for any terrorizing today. Let's get a good night's sleep and start fresh with the terror tomorrow.
So, what you're telling us is that the terror you lived through was basically made up of a dragon making meals and taking naps?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I mean, dragging for me, that has to be awful, right?
Quite the contrary. Skylash was a great cook. He'd talk all the eggs, and he'd do that with the ladies around if we ran away. I'd say to him, Meshy.
You called him Meshi?
Of course I did, dear. We were captain and captain. We became quite close. Anyway, I'd say to him, Meshy, a big, strong, rampaging girl like that, she's bound to have an appetite to match. Invite her out to a picnic, make all the food yourself, and she'll be yours forever.
So, what happened when you came to rescue her?
well, since the dragon would simply not wake up into battle and tie my future queen, and you go back to Spelunat faster than the wind. It was really a thrilling escape, wasn't it, dear?
Really, thrilling.
Like watching purple paint dry is thrilling.
That brings us back to your original problem, young lady. Your distressing lack of distress.
Well, maybe a completely unexpected turn of events will change.
Oh, it's horrible. It's furious. It's the most catastrophically bad news in the history of bad news. Oh, the humanity.
What is it, man? What's the news?
I can't.
What you must.
It's too horrible.
But you must.
But I can't.
But you must.
But I can't.
But you must.
But I can't.
May I borrow someone's program for a moment? Thank you. Look, is this you?
Yes.
It says that you're a messenger, so you must have some sort of message to deliver. Ah. You are thinking.
All right, I'll tell. Just sign here first.
What's this?
It's a standard form of battle. It says not shoot the messenger, stab, strangle, pinch, punch, impale, imprison, drown, drug, hang, poison, or place the messenger in a vat of boiling water.
All right, I'll sign. Now, what's the bad news?
Prince Gambit has been abducted.
What?
You sign! You sign! Whenever you sign!
Now I sign. Now get up. You have abducted the prince.
The evil sorceress Nefaria. Not the nefarious Nefaria, the same.
I see. You may leave.
I can't! Alive! Thank you, Your Majesty!
Release the hound! I see. I'm sorry that I bothered you now. What do you mean? Well, now that the prince has been adopted, it doesn't matter now.
Well, why not send Tabby to rescue the courageous, the strong, the handsome Prince Gallant?
No, that simply won't do. We can't have princesses running around rescuing princes. Just not the way things are done.
Okay, then. How about this, then? After Tabby rescues the prince, she can then allow herself to be abducted, at which point the prince, who is now free, can then come and rescue her through a series of heroic deeds and adventures. Would that fit into our scenario all right?
Saffron, that's a wonderful idea.
Yes, I think that might do.
Oh, you can't be taking this seriously. I mean, none of you recognize that this is a bad idea. None of you think that it's a dumb plan. It doesn't seem stupid to anyone, not even a little ridiculous.
No.
No, in fact, I wish I thought of it myself.